I thank the gentleman from North Carolina. I wanted to make a very brief statement about our previous discussion about the audit the Fed bill. That bill has nothing to do with transferring who does monetary policy. It's strictly a transparency bill. Monetary policy reform, I believe, will come, but that's another subject. This is just to know more about what the Federal Reserve is doing. Mr. Chairman, one of your key points that you've made through your academic career as well as being a defendant has been the need to prevent deflation. Would you agree with that? That is
generally, yes, sir.
Right, and that you argue that the Depression was prolonged by the Federal Reserve not being able to reinflate. So in that sense, I think you really have achieved, you've had the chance, you were put in a situation that you alone didn't create. It's, as far as I'm concerned, the system created it, and other managers helped create this. And there was this what I see as a natural tendency to deflate and liquidate and clear the market. And under your philosophy, you say, well, we can't allow this to happen. We have to prevent it. And I would say you've done a pretty good job. You know, the monetary base has been tripled. And in the last 12 months, I think M1 has grown about 16%, M2 over 9%. So it seems to be like a monetary system. The monetary numbers are still growing, but the pricing houses, you know, everybody knows there's a bubble. I like to believe that the free market economists knew about it and predicted it. Others did not. But the prices soared up. Everybody knows there was a bubble, and then they collapsed. When those prices of houses collapse, do you call that deflation?
No. Deflation is prices of current goods and services. So inflation doesn't capture house prices. It includes the house or the rentals.
Okay, and I think one of the problems, even getting a full-fledged discussion out, is sometimes the definition of words about what inflation and deflation means. Because as far as I'm concerned, deflation is when the money supply shrinks, and inflation is when the money supply expands. But just about everybody in the country, especially the financial markets, and the way I think the conventional use of inflation is the CPI. And I think it's, you know, a lousy measurement, because if it's the money supply increase, if prices going down of houses is not deflation, wonder why it is that inflation is measured by the CPI going up rather than the money supply going up. Our argument is that once you distort interest rates and increase the supply of money, you end up with this gross distortion that is demanding some correction. So I've worked on this for years, and we're not going to solve it today. The definitions would be much better if prices of houses going down is not deflation, then because CPI going up shouldn't be inflation. But we've had trouble 5 years. The monetary system, you say, this is not all end to end all. You can't solve every problem with monetary system, monetary policy. We've had this for 5 years, and we're still in a mess. Is there ever a time, let's say we go 5 more years and we have the same problems but much worse, is there ever a time you might say, I have to reassess my philosophy on monetary policy, or do you think it'll be the same no matter what kind of crisis? Can you foresee any kind of problem that we would have that you would reassess your assumptions?
I can't conjecture what specifically, but of course, yeah, I'm evidence-based. I look at see what happens and try to draw conclusions from that. Certainly.
Well, the definitions, obviously, to me are, you know, very, very important. And if we don't come to this conclusion and we use these terms, inflation demands corrections, and the market wants to correct. So this is why we believe that we're going to have perpetual doldrums and finally have a big one. Do you consider this recession that we're facing today something that is significantly different since 1945? Much worse and different in any way?
Yes, because of the financial crisis, yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Paul. That was a double dose you got. That was